Okay, here's a project for the day. That's a wear plate meant to have a Teflon pad on there. I got to figure that out. It is a Vermeer SC802, and the problem with that Teflon gone is that this whole tube here just wore through and became a knife edge. That's why that pad over there is like that. So this is the guard upside down. Okay, I cleaned up the edge there to the best of my ability, and I took this plate steel and I just took a Sharpie and traced the radius on there. So we'll cut that out, and then I'll try to fit it up, and then I'll cut the inner side of that radius to, I think, a 1-inch strip. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, after about 15 minutes cut with the Milwaukee, man, that's a good little saw. Chews right through this. I think it's a hair thicker than 1/4 inch. That outer edge there looks good. I'll check this fit, and then I'll measure a standard distance back, scribe the line, and cut that out of there. So we're getting there. Okay, another little update here. I know the light is not good, but I've got a 1/4 inch cut out of this thing. You can see the lip right there. Going to put a piece I cut. I'll bring you right back. Okay, this piece here I cut. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but it worked out all right. Like I said earlier, that darn Milwaukee jigsaw is a really good piece of equipment. So I'm going to be tacking that thing on and going from there. I'll bring you back. Okay, got this bad boy tacked in there. Not easy. It has to be very smooth, because it rests on the Teflon bushing, but when I cut the channel off down here and up here, those two weren't parallel to the top here. So if all I did was pinch it tight, this bottom piece would go like this or like this, and it wouldn't ride flush on here. So I made this contraption up, which kept me 90. Let me change hands on the phone. It kept me 90 with that, and I could go along here. Every time I tacked it, it would move. I'd have to pull it back, tack again, move, pull it back. But I'm really happy with the overall. I don't know if this is going to show you, but overall, the bottom is very parallel to the top. Now I got a varying gap right here I got to fill in, no problem. All right, bring you back. So I'm back out here after a week. It's Saturday afternoon. I've got my Teflon bushing from Vermeer. Somehow I have to figure out how that goes on there, something like that. Figure out how to get some nuts and mount that. Probably going to need a whole new piece right here. I'm going to put this guard back on so I can make sure it all lines up before I get too carried away. So this thing is I got it temporarily mounted on there, and I've got this just set in here on the old frame there. I just wanted to make sure I understood this relationship here. This is 3/4 of an inch. So at the end of the day, when I cut this off and mount this permanently, this Teflon wear guard or plate, I will have the right relationship in here. But horsing this bad boy around by yourself is a pain in the neck. Fortunately, I have my gantry crane here, which is nice. There's my scale, if you will. That's how I know how much stuff is made or weighs. So I have my new plate marked out here. I'm going to cut this out, drill a couple of holes in there, make some nuts for to go right in here. I'm going to make rectangular things to fit in there, and we should be good to go. I also have to take all this back apart and weld all that up, but it's going pretty well. Okay, now I got my my homemade thing here. Let me just, so I cut that thing out of the corner there, and I drilled 2 holes in that, and then I took a piece of plate steel and I drilled and tapped 2 holes in there, and that way you know, as weight comes down here, this whole void is full there on both sides, so that will sit right in there like that. And then I weld this plate to the underside there and bolt it on. So it's getting there. Keep going. I love my Saturdays here. It's 34 degrees. I just checked in the garage here. I could turn the heater on, but I'm not cold. When when you love what you do, you don't even get cold, right? All right, let me bring you back. All right, there, that thing is cleaned up. I'm going to, you know, fill these things in where it cut through, square that all up, and then, yes, prop that right on there. So we're getting there. Okay, here's my kind of my final fit up here, if you will. That thing cleaned up really good. This is sitting nice and flush and true. So I'm gonna tack this in here. Not enough to heat it up to burn the Teflon, but just enough to get it going. And then I'll bring you back. By the way, I always undo the battery terminals every time I'm welding on a machine. But I've got my plate here now. Not necessarily that pretty, but it's good. Man, that heat warps the stuff. I'll just have to pull that back into shape, but it's pretty good. Good penetrating. Okay, all cooled off there. That looks good. I just ran the bead down here. It's okay. A little bit of porosity jumped in there. I didn't really clean it up much. This is a total overkill with the welding, but I would be able to just put stringers in here, but I feel like I gotta close up this box beam here to keep it from rusting. So I'm gonna take the flap disc to this and smooth out this side and this edge, and then flip it over one more time, weld the other side, flap disc that, and then I'm done here. Tired of flipping this darn thing back and forth, but it's all going well. So I flipped this over one more time. Took me a while because I didn't want to overheat it, but I stitched that all together and sealed it up. I think I'm done welding on this project. I'll tell you what, this little Miller-Matic 211 does a great job. Anyway, I'm going to flap disc this a little bit, not much, but just to smooth it out. I might show you one more time, or I might just put the whole thing together and finish this project. So, okay, one final video here. It is Sunday morning. Just finished up late. Didn't take a video, but we're definitely all done now. Nice and smooth. I ended up flap disking that just to make that wear plate last a little bit longer. One rogue piece of splatter or deformity will chew through that thing in a heartbeat, so I had to make sure that wasn't there. My youngest son Luke ended up coming out and helping me with some other stuff. We went on a crack finding mission. Cleaned this up a little bit, twisted that back, that was bent up. But overall, this went very good. Got another weld down in there. Ooh, light's bad, sorry. So that's about it. I love doing this type of stuff. I'm not a YouTuber per se. I don't edit these, I just string them together and throw them up there. So I know I ramble a lot, but that's the way it is. Okay, well, this is going out of here today, and that is good. See ya.